Hey, welcome everybody. This is your second episode to the Fantastic Fancast. I am Johnny Gregory, and today with me, as always, is my co-host Malik Thompson. What's up, Malik?
What's up, buddy?
It's been a couple of weeks since we've had our last episode. First one being kind of our origin story, but we're gonna get down to business, and the business is figuring out who is our king. So, what does that mean?
It means a couple things, man.
I think we should introduce just a little teaser here.
Get the people all riled up.
YIBAMBE! 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 YIBAMBE!
So, if you haven't figured out, we're talking about Black Panther in this episode. Malik and I are like super excited to see this movie. Not only because it represents a character that is actually really awesome, like the powers, the tech, the type of person that T'Challa was, represents a lot of like what heroes should like aspire to be when you think about like a superhero. And part of which is talking about how Chadwick Boseman played the shit out of that role. Like
Literally.
to me, like he embodied the spirit of what T'Challa was and took it to an entirely different level in a time right now where Black representation is completely needed. And back in the 60s and 70s when this character was created, there was no representation for the Black communities to have a hero like this on a power scale that is equal to or better than most of the heroes that are out. And for Marvel to be able to do something like that was just completely awesome. And it showed how really anybody could be a superhero. It doesn't matter your race, your sex, your whatever. Like a hero is a hero, and I think that's what Black Panther represents. But you're the foremost leading expert, Malik. So let's hear a little bit about Black Panther's past.
Well, RIP to the GOAT, Chadwick. That kind of broke me when I saw Chadwick. I don't even like get too caught up in like celebrity deaths. I mean, I joke like, there are a couple people that kind of make you sad, but that one kind of like just shattered. And then just to find out he was like dealing with cancer and doing all that. And like to know the shit that Chadwick was doing, like while dealing with cancer, it made it even worse. And it was just like, man, that was a blow. Uh, by the way, I'm team no recast. If you need to hear it, absolutely not. I just, not even because of some type of like hold to him. I just can't see anybody else coming into that role.
Yep.
And not only coming into it, but doing it to a magnitude that Chadwick did it. Like you can't say Black Panther and not say Chadwick Boseman because it just like it's
not
synonymous
possible.
at this point. Like that man embodied that character. And for that to be like the first character or the first person to do that character live action is just like crazy because most times it takes a couple times to get it right or perfect it. But like his first introduction, like when we saw him, spot on accent, personality, like the regalness as a king and just being like for his country and for his people, but also being able to stand with other people and understand and sympathize with people. It was just like perfect casting, man. That movie was just so impactful. And I don't think a lot of people just realized how impactful it was. Deeper than just skin color. It was more so like, damn, we can finally see something other than a stereotype, or he's not talking in a certain accent or talking in a certain slang that we get. He still carried mannerisms, but it wasn't like, hey everybody, just so you know, this man is Black. Like we didn't
Right.
need to see that, or we didn't get that. It was like, this is a damn king, and like everybody respected this man as a king. Like nobody disregarded him. And just, I don't know, that was like a really big moment for me. Also, shout out to Stan Lee, the other GOAT, who infamously had Black Panther fighting Ku Klux Klan members in his damn comics in the 60s when shit like that would probably get your head chopped off. But that was also just like it made him who he is now. Like that gave him that type of power and that type of, popularity amongst like Black kids or older Black generations, just to be like, damn, we got somebody that's fighting Klan members, and like he just boldly out here fighting Klan members, like he doesn't care. And he wasn't even from America. That made it even better. Like this is a man from Africa, and he's coming over here fighting fucking Klan members and just kicking ass. And I'm like, yeah, this is my guy. That's one of those other, I guess POC characters or Black characters that just kind of are my top people, and not simply because they're Black, but because they shine a light in a better way than most characters. Like just kind of put us in. They put us in a box. I think T'Challa was bigger than the box most comics or just TV shows or cartoons or whatever try to put us in. Like I love Static Shock, but I feel like Static Shock is almost like a character. Yes, I know somebody like Static, but at the same time, I see Static enough. Like, I see that type of representation enough. And to see T'Challa come on the scene, and it's like, this man, like he commands attention when he walks in a room. Yep. He commands respect when he walks in a room, and he doesn't even say anything. And then not only him, but to bring like the Dora Milaje in, and it's like these dark-skinned, like Amazon bald women that are just like no bullshit. Like when she literally walked up to Natasha and was like, move or you will be moved. And like she said that shit with like no regard. I don't give a damn if you're a Black Widow. I wouldn't care if you like are the strongest person on earth. You're about to move, or I'm gonna make you move. And like she didn't stutter, she didn't like miss a beat. It was like, damn, who is this? Like,
right.
And then it's just like seeing that, and then like seeing the full cast, and it was like a majority Black skin cast, or Black cast, Black cast, and a dark skin like characters. And it's like even that in itself was something, because for a long time it was only a certain type of Black that would get on TV, and it's like we have even more representation for the darker skinned people, or the people with a certain type of hair group that don't get to feel seen, or just being proud to say like I'm also important. Like it's not just one type of Black that's been shown, but we're all getting this type of shine. And the fact that everybody made that as big as a deal, even people that had never read in a comic like A Day in Their Life, and we all just kind of celebrated that movie, Black, white, or whatever, was like, it showed that like people needed this, people wanted to see this. Like nobody, especially with the way things were going, I think at the time, I think that was like really the height of all that like police brutality and all that, so it made it even more just kind of important.
And even everything from coming from the top, like with the director being a person of color, and then his production winning an Oscar. Like this
like
movie
was
that. Huge for
that was a really really big deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this is easily one of the top 5 Marvel movies, and I think that Black Panther 2 is bound to surpass that in terms of like scale and just what they're going to do with the storyline, and we'll get into that here in just a little bit. But I don't think anything will ever be the first Black Panther.
Yeah, it actually gets a lot of flack though, but I'll save it for hot takes. Black Panther gets a lot of flack for writing and just like the overall movie. Surprisingly, I've seen like a lot of people have like lot of negative things to say, which I mean is anything, you're gonna get that.
It is what it is.
But that's my movie. That's my mom loves that movie, and my mom's not even like, she's not even into like superhero and sci-fi and stuff, but like when she watched that, my mom was like, I love this movie. And I'm pretty sure she had no damn idea. It was like just watching a movie. But like she literally, I think that's like one of the movies that she would, if you say I'm finna watch Black Panther or Black Panther's on, she'll watch it. Like she enjoyed that movie that much. That's how you capture an audience. That's how you catch people's attention. And it's not about like a wokeness thing or none of that. It's just like shit. Sometimes people just need to see them in another way. Like
Yeah.
not all the times. Yeah, things are real, or certain times those characters are real people, but this is a real person too. I can know a T'Challa and see that person and highlight that.
We'll get into a lot of this here in the news section and in your hot takes. So we're going to talk about some breaking news today. First and foremost, like the biggest thing is who is going to be the next king. So obviously, like, the biggest one is going to be Shuri. Like, she's obviously going to be taking over. But it seems like, based off of the photo that you see here of M'Baku, like, he's a little bit more on the gray side. He's a little bit more aged. So has there been another king in the midst of the timeline of actually Shuri being the next Black Panther, or has Winston or M'Baku taking over the mantle as Black Panther? So that's some of the rumors and things that we just don't know who it actually is. But based off of just like set photos and stuff, it seems like it's fairly obvious that it's gonna be Shuri.
I feel like it's gonna be a situation where T'Challa will die off screen. I pray to God they don't show us him dying on screen. I just don't even want to see that. But I feel like he's gonna be like an accident or something. He's gonna die off screen. Everybody's gonna be in mourning. But in the process of being in mourning, all the leaders of the nations of Wakanda will come together and be like, I know we're in mourning, but we have to have a king. Like somebody has to take over. And obviously, Shuri's next in line because Queen Ramonda probably won't want to be the Panther just because, like, shit, I'm old. I can fight,
Right.
but I can't do that. And Shuri probably will be hesitant, but I think ultimately because her and her brother were so close, I think she will take on the mantle. But I also think her grief will be so hard that it'll be like, I can't do this. And she lets it go. Like, or either she'll have a situation where her grief kind of blocks her judgment and it ends up in something happening. Not necessarily, I hope it's not death, but not necessarily death, maybe a accident on like, a mission or something. And then she'll probably have M'Baku come in, and then it's like, let me do it, or he does it for a good minute, and he may be like, I don't want to wear. I think that's why his armor looks different. I think if he does become it, I don't think he'll wear the suit. I think he'll probably wear his armor and be leader, or either I think Nakia will do it because
Okay.
Nakia is the only other person besides M'Baku technically has that warrior training, but I feel like Nakia is the only other agent like Black Panther or like T'Challa was that could take up that mantle. And also, she's revered amongst the people enough to where they respect her and they
And,
have that level of fear, I guess, with that respect to like,
right. And she can handle like a lot of the like political stuff that comes
yeah,
with
basically,
being
yeah.
T'Challa or the Black Panther, like
But my wonder is if even if it is Nakia and Nakia ends up being like the permanent one, will Shuri still be in that political seat, I guess, as the face? Because Black Panther is one thing, but being the actual queen or princess, because T'Challa was the king of Wakanda, and so I know Queen Ramonda is still there, but like with that, I mean, obviously, because he doesn't have any kids that we know of old enough to take the crown, so obviously Shuri would become the next heir. But
right.
like, even if she isn't the Black Panther, how would that work politically? Like, how does Nakia be the Black Panther without being Queen of Wakanda? Or
Right.
does that automatically kind of tie in together?
And maybe with Nakia, if she were to take up the mantle, that could free up the Black Panther to do things more outside of Wakanda, and Wakanda still being taken care of by their queen, who would be Shuri.
I think I don't know. It's weird because like just and I'm honestly going off of not even so much what I want, more so just kind of enough of what the trailers give you.
Yeah.
Because you see Shuri like grieving a lot and it makes sense. Like,
Hmm.
because if you just remember their relationship, her and T'Challa were so close in that first movie. It's like I feel like obviously Ramon did lost a son and then she lost her husband, but I feel like out of anybody, that death is going to impact Shuri the most because she kind of looked up to T'Challa, and it's like, damn, like we probably joked about me being the queen one day, but I didn't think it would be like this, or
Right.
and it's like just how does
And there's
she?
a and like this photo, like if anybody goes to IGN's page on Facebook, they have a really good post on some new like scenes from the Black Panther movie, and there's one of Nakia where she looks like she's in some sort of like ceremonial outfit, and this could either be like something that they're doing to mourn T'Challa, or this could be some sort of ceremonial garment for her to take the lotus flower and have the powers of the Black Panther.
I kind of feel like it's gonna be the funeral because just off the trailer when everybody was kind of marching through the city and knowing kind of that I don't know if it's like an African. Well, I'm pretty sure it is African tradition, but I know in the South and in like Louisiana they do that
Yeah.
for funerals. They celebrate death, and I'm pretty sure that does kind of trace back to Africa. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like the opening first act of the thing. If they kind of just skip off of just the whole death of him and just kind of go into it, but I don't know, man. This movie, it's so many questions, but I feel like I don't know because it's like I feel like you can speculate so much with this, but I feel like this movie is gonna do so much more and like just be so much more than we probably
Yep.
just think.
Well, and
Because
part of that too is like with it being so much more, it's the second longest running movie for Marvel right now behind Endgame. So it's at 2 hours and 41 minutes. So it's almost 3 hours, you know. So they're gonna jam pack a lot of shit into this movie. And we already know like from the first like set of rumors and leaks that came from this that obviously Namor is going to be in the movie, so they're going to have to fit the funeral, whoever takes up the mantle of the Black Panther, and also now Namor as
yeah, because
well
they
into
have
this
to give
movie.
his backstory
Yep.
and his relationship to Wakanda, which I have an idea what his relationship to Wakanda will be. I don't think it's
Yep.
what people think it's going to be, but I definitely think if they go comic book accurate Namor, I think his relationship to Wakanda is going to be one that's very, very like touch and go. Because I know Namor isn't technically a hero. Namor is one of those people that's kind of for his people. And if it's for the good of his people, then he's in it. And if it's not, then he's like, fuck you and everything you stand for. Like, I have nothing to do with this.
Right.
And I'm not going to put myself or my people in jeopardy to help you if it like does not benefit us. But also, I think he will be kind of toned down a little bit in this, just knowing Marvel and the MCU, because I don't think we've ever had like a true anti-hero yet. Not in the MC, not really in the MCU,
Yeah, not really.
not in the actual definition of an anti-hero. So I think he'll probably be our first. And I think his backstory won't technically tie into why he doesn't or he goes to fight Wakanda. I think it's going to be a present issue. And I think the ramifications of T'Challa opening up Wakanda to the world is going to be what kind of ticks Namor off because him
Yeah.
opening up Wakanda kind of also opens up Atlantis. And then I feel like somehow just something's going to happen to somebody either from Atlantis or something close to Atlantis, and Wakanda is going to be a part of it. And instead of him seeing the other enemy, I feel like he's going to be like, oh shit, I see Wakanda. I know who these people are. Let me go check them real quick. Let's go, figure out what's going on up here. And then that kind of ignites that. And then that's going to kind of catch them off guard simply because shit, we don't have a king right now. We're mourning, we're trying to figure shit out. And I'm pretty sure the leaders will probably go up against Queen Ramonda just because, like, you have no stake anymore. Your son is dead. He's no longer king. Your daughter doesn't want to do it. I feel like Shuri's gonna go MIA for a minute in the movie, and we're gonna like have a part of the movie where like Ramonda's on her own. And I feel like that's the part where Ramonda was kind of like going in on everybody a little bit. Like, you know, I've given everything. My whole family's gone. My husband's gone. My son's dead.
Right.
My daughter's probably missing or something, or she thinks she's dead. And now I have nothing. I've given you all everything I have, and that's still not enough, you know? And it's like, I feel like that's the point where it's going to probably be either middle act or close to the end or close to the action point. And that'll be the thing that either she goes to Namor and try to have a discussion, or either I think it'll be the point where she just says, fuck Wakanda, and just like goes to do whatever she needs to do on her own.
Right.
I saw a rumor that she's going to take up the mantle just in a tiny bit, but I don't believe it. I don't know. I don't feel like Angela has that in her.
I mean, she's going to play the shit out of her role, but like,
I don't think she's gonna... like superhero. I don't see I don't see that. I don't get that.
She's a queen, that's all.
I don't know.
But man. that does lead us to like a couple of other rumors that are left that have, you know, like some validity left to them. So there are a lot more people saying that there will be a Doom appearance at the end credit scenes for the movie. And what version of Doom do we get? I don't know. I suspect, and I think you and me both agree on this, is that it's not going to be Dr. Doom. It's going to be Victor.
Yeah.
Like, it's too early in kind of like the timetable for it to be Dr. Doom. But I think that because of like the setup, and it kind of makes sense for, you know, with Fantastic Four coming out, that they have to introduce Victor Von Doom at some point, and this is probably gonna how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like he'll be some type of, I don't know, like I think he'll be behind whatever attack it was that kind of attacks Wakanda, and then like just attacks everybody in that region. And I feel like it'll be because, like, with them being open, just that vibranium, and like him coming after that vibranium, which would make sense. Just knowing
he's gonna need to build this suit out of something.
He's gonna have to, like, you know, obviously like the strongest fucking metal. And then not only that, he's like, what, a billionaire or something, or the smartest, damn near the smartest man alive. Like, obviously, if anybody wants vibranium and knows what to do with it, it's gonna be Doom. And just him getting his hands on vibranium would mean not only am I the smartest man, now I'm one of the strongest men. They don't have anybody that can stop me because their king is dead. So let me just kind of slither my way into this. And if they do go full Doom in this movie, I would be shocked. I would be surprised that they just jumped out with it, especially without us even having like Fantastic Four right now.
Yeah.
That would be like, I mean, but I don't know.
See, I think he's just going to be behind the scenes as Victor until the end of Secret Wars.
You think so? You think they're going to have him just back there that long?
Well, because Fantastic Four doesn't even come out until
like 2 years.
Let me see the timeline. This is my rough draft timeline. This is the things that we know. This is the timeline right here. So like we're talking about the Fantastic Four movie coming out roughly a year before Secret Wars. So maybe he doesn't stay Victor until that Fantastic Four movie, because I don't see like how he could fit into anywhere else.
I don't know. See, and the thing is, like, it's kind of going to my oh shit, I didn't even know I was going out. My speculation for Doom is weird because, like, Doom gets his powers with the Fantastic Four, but
They could easily
If they
change that.
go the way that I want them to go and the way that I think they're gonna go, that means you have so much backstory to explain like where the hell he comes from. Because I want them to be set in the 60s. I just want the Fantastic Four to be set in the 60s. We can bring them back up to speed. If he's set in the 60s, that means, well, but I guess that still he still could be like a back player and like behind the scenes person, and it's just like, oh, this rich man that nobody knows. They just know the name of him, and like, I don't know, it's weird because like I feel like they could go full Doom in the end, and it's just like you see a slither of a green damn cape somewhere, and he like kind of gets his hands on some vibranium, and then they just pan out and it's gone. But also like I don't know. Because do I want them to go full Doom in this movie? I don't. I don't think I want them to go full Doom yet. I feel
Yeah,
like a teaser would be good enough, like to just get everybody like all riled up, and then we just don't hear from him for maybe a movie or two. Maybe
right.
like get me to what is it next? What is after this? Ant-Man. Get me past Ant-Man and like Thunderbolts and all
See,
that.
I think that they should do with Doom like how they did with Thanos, is like, they introduced Thanos just like in oh gosh, what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Like that was the first time that we saw
Yeah, he
him.
just turned his
And he was
face
just
like
turned his face and that was it.
yeah.
And then like we kept getting like small little bits and small little bits and then rumors and this and that. And like even throughout the movies, like they kept talking about like different things about this guy that was like trying to collect the Infinity Stones or whatever. That's what they should do with Doom, is like give these little Easter eggs in movies until it's a setup for like his final, introduction into the universe.
I
And
honestly
then
feel
once
like that should be the ultimate big bad. Like, I don't know if you can really go bigger than Doom. Like, just personality wise, that anybody would just enjoy. Like,
yeah.
who else would you want to see that like hates every damn body? It's not just a
Right.
specific team. Like, Doom doesn't like any damn body.
Right. But that, I mean, that's one of the things that this movie, like Black Panther 2, is going to why it's so important, I think, at this point in time in the MCU, is because it opens up a lot of different things. So it opens up the possibility of Doom, which means we're talking about Fantastic Four. It also opens up with Namor, and with Namor already being confirmed that he is a mutant, opens up all of the mutants in the MCU now.
Right.
And so like this Black Panther 2 is a highly important setup movie for the rest of the phase, for all the way through Secret Wars, because there are so many things that this movie is doing to open up the universe. And I think that's why they had to make it almost a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, I definitely think this movie is gonna be the one that's like kind of picks up speed because it
Mhm.
has to at this point. It's like, all right, we kind of been just giving you fillers because we really don't have much, but we need to give you something to kind of keep our like keep the thing going.
Yep.
And like I feel like this one is gonna be the one that's like, all right, shit's getting real. Like, and then boom, we jump into Ant-Man, and it's like, oh shit's really real now. Now we have Kang, and Kang's like a big bad, and he's fucking up stuff. And then Doom is still in the picture, and like all whatever, like the
Yep.
multiverse stuff, which I'm still trying to see how he would tie into the multiverse saga. And like Black Panther, what exactly is gonna happen with that? Like, are they gonna try to I don't know. Oh, I just thought about something. What if they do something with the multiverse and like not bring T'Challa, but bring Killmonger from another universe over
As the Black Panther.
as the Black Panther,
I
or
mean,
another universe where Nakia and T'Challa have a son, or Storm and T'Challa have. I don't want to go Storm. Don't make me start talking about Storm. But Nakia and T'Challa end up having a child, and he's like the Black Panther in another universe. And it's like, oh shit. I mean, I feel like that's kind of easy cop out, but it kind of. I mean, we're multiverse. Anything is happening. Like
anything can
anything
happen.
is possible. So I feel
So,
like they have ways to do things, but what are they going to do is the question.
right. With all that, this leads us to our favorite segment of the show, which is hot takes by Malik. And I know that because this is the Black Panther episode, that you are just itching on some topics to talk about. So hit us with some hot takes.
All right. I got a couple. Gonna try to keep it short. I'm not gonna go in. It's nothing really to go in on this week. I got my She-Hulk ran out. I still got a lot of shit to talk about She-Hulk, but I'll save it for another episode. All right. So I personally believe Queen Ramonda will die. And I say that because I feel like that will raise the stakes of the movie. No, that's not an unnecessary kill. That will be the thing to where Shuri says, I have nothing else to lose. You took every single thing away from me. I am about to lose my shit. Or Queen Ramonda will be a sacrifice in order to save Shuri or somebody else. I do think she's going to die, though. And it makes sense if you think about it, if you look at it. It might suck, but also like they killed her husband. Her son is now dead. Shuri's her last piece, but also shit, I'm tired. My husband's gone. I just lost my son. I don't want to fucking be here either. I would probably like, if I had the chance to sacrifice myself and die as a hero, I'm probably going to take it. It sucks, but it makes the most sense. Like, it just makes sense. I feel like she's going to be a sacrifice in the movie, and it's going to be the driving force that Shuri needs to kind of push forward and go on. And then she will ultimately become the queen of Wakanda. And it'll be her and like Nakia and like all them behind her. And I think M'Baku will kind of stand behind her. Even Namor eventually will be an ally for her in the end of the movie. And then, but Shuri won't take the mantle. I don't think Shuri will be our overall Black Panther. But I do think by the end of the movie, she will be our Queen of Wakanda. Second, I think Nakia will be our Black Panther, but not the ruler. Like I said, obviously tied into the next thing. She will be our new Black Panther. I think because her and Shuri will develop such a sister, or had developed such a sister-like relationship, it makes the most sense for her sister after her mom's death and her family's gone to be by her side. And if Shuri doesn't want to be the one to fight, Nakia makes the next most sense. Everybody would say M'Baku, but I think M'Baku is perfect as the character he is. I don't think he should be Black Panther. One, I just think he's too impulsive as a fighter to be that. And the way T'Challa's mind moved, Nakia is the next best person. Like, she makes the most sense. She knows strategy. She knows how to fight an enemy, not even just physically, but just mentally and just all that type of stuff. And then she is the most mature enough to handle that and possibly even join the Avengers. Honestly, it would be pretty dope. I think it would be pretty dope and kind of amp up the whole, more female-led teams if she was to join the Avengers or, eventually. I think Killmonger will remain dead. I know that's an unpopular opinion and everybody wants him to be resurrected, but I think he will remain dead. I do think when Shuri or whoever does eventually or tries the mantle when they take it, I feel like it'll be Shuri. I don't think Nakia will see him, but I think when Shuri first takes the herb, I think she'll see her brother, but I also think she'll see Killmonger in there in the like ancestral plane, and him and her will have like a coming to God conversation or whatever, and they'll kind of like, she'll get past his whole thing that he did and kind of understand him more, because I think Killmonger to some people went about his things wrong, but I think his overall motive was like spot on. I got everything he meant. I don't think he was a bad guy. I just think the things that happened to him throughout his life and just his time overall just kind of put a fire in him that kind of made him look past the fact that not everybody is one way, and that some people are still allies for us. But I get it. I got everything that he was saying. Also, before I end this out, you will see Miss Aurora. She will be in this movie. I think because we're on a roll with the whole mutants thing, why the fuck not introduce the queen of the mutants herself, the Omega level mutant? She's right up the fucking street anyway. She's in Kenya. Why not? Or like, even if she's not in Kenya, I feel like it would be perfect. Like, imagine it, right? We're doing the T'Challa funeral. We're doing the mourning. Boom. All you see is this white haired, beautiful ass, tall woman, like this goddess, just flows into the room. She walks up to Shuri. They pan over, and it's fucking Storm. And she's just staring at him. And it's like, oh shit, they knew each other. And she like, Shuri knows who she is. And it's like, or even if Shuri doesn't, maybe it's Queen Ramonda standing next to her and she's like, oh my God, Aurora, it's nice to see you. He would have been happy that you're here. And we get some type of small, tiny flashback, them running around as kids or teenagers and like her and T'Challa kiss. And it's like, that's all we need. They were together for a little bit. Even if we can't get her as Queen of Wakanda, we know that they had their moment.
Yep.
Boom. Storm is here. Or even if it's not Storm, we know Storm is here. We got her in this thing. Or even you can just, if you want to just please us enough, Kevin, get her outside. Maybe it's about to rain or something, and she opens up the clouds and the sun is out or something. Just give me something. I don't know. I'm ready for Storm. Like, out of anybody, I'm ready for Storm. Storm has never been done right, and I need Storm done accurately. I need the goddess. I need everything from Storm. I want it perfect. Like, I need Storm. But, I don't think that this is one of those movies where it'll be just, fan service. I think they're actually going to do their due diligence in this and kind of respect T'Challa, but also respect the future of Black Panther and like where we're going. I don't think they're going to rest too much on the fact that T'Challa's died. I think we're going to honor him, but then we're going to move on and be like, kind of like the trailer was like, we're going to be all right. It's, he's dead. It's unfortunate, but he still had a legacy that we can, move off of. He still is something to kind of push this thing forward. And I think it's going to be perfect. I think this is going to, I don't say it lightly. I think this is going to be a perfect movie, which brings me into my last one. Before I say this, you assholes, I saw your damn post. Everybody hated on the first one because it was quote unquote woke. I don't like that word. It's so fucking stupid. I don't even understand the point of that word. What the fuck did you want? You wanted like, I don't understand what you expected. Captain America and Wakanda or some shit like fucking Homelander next to damn T'Challa or some type of some crazy ass like him. I don't know what you expected. It's not happening. Get the hell over it. T'Challa is king. We will not recast. We will not be moved. Stand on your shit, Kevin. Get this done. That's it. I'm done. Rant over. This is
all right. You heard it from Malik. These are his hot takes. Love it. A lot of good stuff in there. So, as part of like the show, we one of the things that we started out doing just as friends is fan casting movies, and that's one of the things that our favorite things to do. And so part of that is we have a bit of a discussion about who should play Victor Von Doom. And so I think this is one of those things where Malik and I both have our personal picks. If you guys are interested in sharing your picks, let us know in the comments. Let us know in any type of feedback that you give us, whether it's on Facebook or anything like that. And let's keep this poll going. But for right now, Malik, we will start with your pick of who should play Victor Von Doom. It is Mr. Luke Evans.
Yes. I have another one, but I guess they kind of look alike. Honestly, it's scary. But Luke Evans, I think Luke Evans is the perfect mature Victor. Like, he has a look, he has that dark hair, he has that kind of sexiness that Victor, obviously, because anybody that knows Victor is like probably the most overconfident person walking through the fucking comics. Like, he really does not think his shit stinks at all, and nobody can tell him otherwise. And like, I just feel like Luke Evans has that like mysteriousness enough to where he can play this behind the scenes guy that can pop out almost like a Bruce Wayne, if you think about it, like
Yeah.
that kind of like playboy billionaire type thing, but also like I'm mature and I'm egotistical and the smartest person in the room, but I don't have to say it because I know I'm the smartest person in the room. I just
Right.
like the way that I talk to you, you will know like I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. And like he just has that kind of charisma enough that Doom just possesses because Doom is like the ultimate like badass. Like you can't get any badder than Victor Von Doom. Like he knows he's the shit. He has powers. He's fucking intelligent. He has money. Like there was nothing that this dude needed to add to himself, even though he felt like he needed more. But like you give him the power, then it's like, oh shit, you just like literally created the perfect beast. Like,
Right.
and I feel like some people might not look at Luke Evans. I feel like he has the acting chops to pull it off. I feel like he's done enough accents to where he can come up with some type of, I don't even know, would that technically be like a Russian
It's like
accent?
Eastern European, probably.
Yeah, something like that. I feel
Yeah.
like because he has like, look at him. If you see him, that's probably I don't know too many Eastern Europeans, but I would think that's what somebody from what was it Latvia would look like. Like
Yeah.
dark hair, dark eyes, like pale skin. He is in perfect fucking shape. The man has the like the physical build, so it wouldn't be much for that if you just want to beef him up a little bit more, but he really doesn't need it. Like I said, he's mature enough, not only just in like age wise, but just in acting to where I feel like his chops kind of could pull that type of role off. I think Luke Evans might be fine with doing a multi-contract deal because like shit, that's probably looking to what 10 movies, 10 plus
I
movies,
mean,
or
it'd
you'll
be a good
probably be
chunk of
that for a
movies.
couple years. He's like
Yeah.
43, which is like the only thing, which means shit by the time he gets done playing that, he'll be damn near 60 or pushing like 55. If I'm going with how I feel like Marvel would go with him, because I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to stop anytime soon once they introduce Doom. I just that's like my only downfall with him, his age. I feel like
Yeah.
eventually he's gonna be like, shit, damn, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I don't want to
But
kind
you
of.
can't start him too young though. Like that's the thing.
That's my only thing. It's like, what's the perfect medium for Doom? Like, I feel like 40 is kind of a perfect age in like reality, but also like if he's getting his shine in Fantastic Four, what age would he be? If it's set in the 60s, I think that kind of works because technically he stops aging at a certain point any fucking ways. So you can kind of stop him, but that would mean he would have to be 40 in the 60s.
Right.
Or do you think Luke Evans? Because I feel like Luke Evans can kind of come off as like his late 30s. I think he looks good enough to kind of pull the late 30s card.
I think
Late,
he could be like somebody, one of those guys that looks like he's like 39 to 43
yeah.
for a
I
long
think
time.
that's my only that's my tough position with like fan casting him and also just like the Fantastic Four because it's like
Yeah.
shit, where do you put them? Because him and Reed would probably be similar or close enough, really, really close in age, if not the same age.
Yep.
Sue would be probably like
A little bit younger.
3 to 4 years younger than both of them. And then
And then
Johnny is probably 10 years younger than her. So
yeah.
how do you kind of find that perfect balance of a character enough
Right.
to where we're not too young, but
And so
this man, I don't know.
that brings me to my casting here. So I think that Cillian Murphy would make a perfect Victor Von Doom. Just, I mean, he has a lot of the similar traits that Luke Evans has, where he just looks like he is confident, but also like slightly sinister. And I think that like Von Doom, like Victor Von Doom, has to have that edge and that like kind of like ruthlessness to him already before he like gets those powers, because you got to figure he's a billionaire, like he's arrogant, he is um self-involved, like, and I think that Cillian Murphy can embody all of that, and we already know from like places like Peaky Blinders and stuff like that, he can pull off accents no problem. He is a little bit more slight of build, but like he's pretty well toned, and he looks like he could be cast for a decade and still not change the way that he looks like.
Yeah,
And
he's
so
young
like,
enough.
yeah, and I think he's only like maybe like 4 or 5 years younger, but he's still like 41, I think, something
Yeah,
like that. But like, I don't know, there's just something about him that like kind of screams that like ruthless pretty boy kind of thing, which I
yeah.
think is what Victor Von Doom is.
I feel like I like Cillian Murphy too. That's why I'm saying it's like, what do you want, Marvel? Like, like, how are you gonna age them? I
Right.
found
Where
another guy like that kind of I feel like will be another medium, but I also feel like he's kind of older. So I don't know if he will also be kind of the same thing with Luke Evans. I feel like he could have the look, or at least he has like a sinister ass look in his eyes.
right.
Um, Michael Shannon, I don't know if you know who that is. I'm pretty sure you
Oh
know.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he kind of has that fucking psycho look in his eyes, but I'm scared he has more of a psycho look than like just overall sinister. And like, I mean, I feel like he has that face of Doom, like he could, or at least
I think he's too old though, like.
he's older than both of them. He's like almost 50. That's like the thing with him. It's like shit. Everybody's either the perfect people for it or either older and probably won't be able to do the long contracts. And
Right.
then the people that could do the long contracts are too young and don't kind of fit the mold of Doom. Because I feel like Doom is gonna have to be, I don't think he can be a no name. Doom is gonna have to be somebody that's seasoned enough
Yeah.
with kind of like that theater almost background, like to pull this off. Because Doom is so damn dramatic to where you have to do that kind
You
of
have to
like
go big.
theater. You have to go big. That has to be like a big personality to play that role, because you're gonna have to take a deep dive and become like this narcissistic, sadistic ass like person to just embody this man. Like I think the
Yeah,
only person that I've ever read that he kind of even was nice to was Valeria Richards. Not even Sue Storm, he was nice to that much. He
no,
hated her.
he used the shit out of her.
Like he hated her. The only person this man has ever just really, really just been nice to and 100% probably love was Valeria Richards. And if you don't know who that is, that's Sue Storm and Reed Richards' daughter in like one of those damn timelines. I don't even fucking know, because apparently I didn't realize that that was a separate thing. But he loved her, so it's like it has to be. I feel like he has to be mature, but also like shit. How do you get a character, or how do you convince an actor to do that and tell them like shit? Okay, downfall. I'm gonna need you for about 10 years. So,
By the way, Kevin Feige, sign me up right now. I don't care what role. Sign me up
dude,
for 10
right?
years.
Like, oh my god, if I could get like a beard and like I was a little bit taller, I would so go out for Blue Marvel. Man, I cannot wait until the day I get to see Blue Marvel on the screen. At that point, he's gonna be so OP. I don't even think they'll have anybody that can fucking stop him. Adam Bouchard is so OP, like it's ridiculous how powerful that man is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a beard. That's it.
Do
I'm
it.
getting a beard.
So that brings us to the end of the show. Like I said, if you have any comments, or if you have your own suggestions for who you would like to see as Doom, let us know, and we'll give a thanks and a shout out to anybody that responds.